Live to Annelise Nielsen now, who's at the scene in the Pacific Palisades in California right now. Annelise, 12,000 homes and structures lost. I mean, the scale of the devastation, it's just hard to comprehend. Take us through what you're seeing there.
Look, Kenny, the scale's hard to comprehend, and the fact this is just a rolling crisis. Every day there's a new fire front, new people are being evacuated, and many more can't get back in to see the damage. But we do get access as press, and we can tell you the damage is devastating. So this is here in Pacific Palisades. This is a nice area, but it's worth noting, as much as we're talking about all the celebrities who are losing their homes, there's a lot of ordinary people losing their homes alongside it. You can see just how intense the fire was as it tore through this area. Fixtures whipped from one side of the home to the other on the pavement here in front of the house. And you can see this water main is leaking. There's water leaking all over Los Angeles. And there are so many questions around the management of water for these fires. You can see how intense the radiant heat was from this home on this Toyota minivan that's parked in the street, where the siding has melted off and one of the lights melted off as well. And Kenny, I just want to show you as well, if you look down the street, this is just house after house, block after block of homes razed to the ground. There are the occasional homes that are still standing despite what was obviously intense heat that tore through this area. And this is still a suburb where there are concerns around ongoing fire risks. There's a fire front over the canyon behind us, and that's the same fire that is threatening all those celebrity homes in Brentwood, but many ordinary people's homes as well. This is an ongoing fight as the wind starts to pick up. It's been sporadic throughout the day while we've been here. But the other concern has been around people flying drones. We don't know whether these are just looky-loos, whether it's news crews who've gotten a bit ambitious in the circumstances, or anyone trying to deliberately interfere with the effort to bring these fires under control. But there has been one super scooper that's been damaged, taken out of commission, and that's a critical piece of infrastructure that helps bring water to these firefighting areas. And so to have that out of commission at a time like this because of a drone is being taken very seriously. The FBI is now investigating this, and they say they will get to the bottom of it.
You can imagine if that hole spread across the wing, it could take the entire aircraft down. And now we're dealing with a plane crash in the middle of, a historic wildfire for Southern California. They are violating federal law. There is a temporary flight restriction over all of these wildfires right now.
The LA Mayor Karen Bass continues to be under pressure over her handling of the fire departments here. So there has been this well-publicized cutting of funds to the fire department. Then it's come out that she was intending to cut even more money. She was out of the country in Africa for the inauguration of the president of Ghana when this all took off, and she hasn't been able to avoid those critical questions about why they weren't better prepared in Los Angeles for these fires. As much as you can say these were unprecedented fire levels, the fact that water wasn't ready in those fire hydrants, the fact that people could privately get water tankers into the city if they had the money, if their insurance companies had the money, while other people who don't have the resources had their insurance companies taking the policies off them because of the foreseeable fire risk, is exactly why there's this real frustration among people we've met here, that they say, why is it one for them and not for the rest of us? Why weren't we better prepared? Where are our taxpayer dollars going? This has been fueled, of course, by Donald Trump getting into the mix. He's been highly critical of the governor, Gavin Newsom, about all of this. But when asked this morning, the mayor of Los Angeles said that she didn't have any issues with having dealt with or intending to deal with the incoming Trump administration.
How troubled are you that there's a lack of communication between the city of Los Angeles and the incoming Trump administration?
There isn't a lack of communication between the city of Los Angeles and the incoming Trump administration. I have spoken with representatives of the incoming administration. I'll be talking more about that in the coming days.
And when it comes to Donald Trump's criticism, it has really been focused at Gavin Newsom of his handling of the state's water. Now, Donald Trump has said, we tried to get more water in the state for all those California farmers. If you had that water, you'd be able to fight these fires better. Why aren't you doing better? There is a very complicated truth to how water in California works, but what we've heard from people here is they've said, why weren't we building more reservoirs? Why didn't we have those movable infrastructures in place? That is critical questions that are coming Gavin Newsom's way. For his part, he's been doing a bunch of interviews with friendly Liberal media to try and counter these attacks. He set up a website, in his words, to counter mis and disinformation around the handling of water. But this is a conversation that will continue to go, even as these fires rage, even as we are in the thick of this crisis. This is a question that people in Los Angeles want to know the answer to. And here's how he's responding.
I called for him to come out, take a look for himself. We want to do it in the spirit of an open hand, not a closed fist. He's the president-elect. I respect the office. I don't know what he's referring to when he talks about the Delta smelt and reservoirs. The reservoirs are completely full, the state reservoirs here in Southern California. That mis and disinformation, I don't think advantages or aids any of us. Responding to Donald Trump's insults, we would spend another month. I'm very familiar with them.
So, Kenny, before we throw back to you, we just wanted to show you a bit more of what it looks like here on the ground in Pacific Palisades. You can see, really, you can only tell where the houses were by the chimney stacks that have survived side by side. And even from this vantage point, you can see down the crevasse and up that side of the hill right over there, just more houses, side after side, that have been razed to the ground. This is a scene of extraordinary devastation, they say, by monetary value of what's been destroyed, by the number of people placed, and watching this growing death toll. This will be one of the worst fires in US history, and that is amongst some devastating tragedies in US history as well. But this has really shaken Los Angeles to the core. We're still at the weekend. Many people have left town voluntarily to stay away from this, but it's going to start having long-term impacts for the rest of the city as this fire front continues to bear down. And they're saying that the winds that are driving this won't really recede until Wednesday local time, which is days away. So this is very much still an ongoing crisis that they're working to fight day by day.
Yeah, officials saying that the winds could reach 110 kilometres an hour, those Santa Ana winds on Tuesday. So that's really going to put those containment lines under pressure. Annelise, thanks so much. We'll catch up with you again soon.